The Judicial Service Commission has nominated Gauteng Judge President Dunstan Mlambo as the next Deputy Chief Justice of South Africa. On Wednesday, the JSC interviewed Mlambo and Northern Cape Judge President Pule Tlaletsi for the position. Today, Free State Judge President Cagney Musi was before the panel.
The JSC has decided to advise the President that JP Mlambo of the Gauteng Division is suitable for appointment as Deputy Chief Justice. And in accordance with that decision, a report will be submitted by the JSC to the President, and including a report on the other two candidates, the Judge President for the Northern Cape and the Judge President of the Free State. That's it. That's the decision of the JSC.
All right, helping us to unpack this further is Chris Oxtoby, legal consultant and research consultant for Freedom Under Law. Thank you so much for your time and good afternoon, Chris. So 3 judges, President, were vying for this position, which has been vacant, in fact, since Chief Justice Mandisa Maya assumed her role at the apex of the judiciary on the 1st of September 2024. Let's get your reaction then to Judge President Mlambo getting the nod from the JSC as the next Deputy Chief Justice.
Yes, I think first of all, it's a positive development that we have a Deputy Chief Justice about to be appointed. This vacancy has stood open for a long time, for very nearly a year, as you say, since Justice Maya was appointed to the position of Chief Justice. So it is some way overdue for this position to be filled. So this is an important step in the process of appointing a new Deputy Chief Justice. I think the recommendation of Judge President Mlambo is not a surprise. I think he's eminently qualified. He has a huge amount of experience as a judicial leader. And I think if the President does confirm this appointment, I think he will be able to play a very important role in this position.
Also, of course, the President Cyril Ramaphosa is yet to appoint. He has gone against the JSC recommendations before and appointed the former Judge President Raymond Zondo, as we know. So how likely is he then to approve of this recommendation, do you think, just given the caliber of, Justice Mlambo?
Yeah, that's right. As you say, I think it's important for people to remember that the JSC's role in this vacancy is different to its role for other appointments. So when it's dealing with, for example, a candidate for a High Court position, the JSC is effectively making the appointment in that case. There, the President only exercises a ceremonial role of making the formal appointment. But in this case, the JSC is being consulted by the President. So the advice that it's given the President today, and it will give him a report on its view of all the candidates, is part of the information and one of the factors that the President will take into account in making the decision, but it does not formally bind him. So it is technically possible that the President might come to a different decision. As you say, we saw that when Justice Zondo was appointed as Chief Justice in 2022. I think in this case, that's perhaps more unlikely. I think probably on reflection of the past 2 days' interviews, Judge President Mlambo presented a very compelling case for his candidacy. So I would be surprised if the President went a different way to what the JSC has suggested. But as you say, we'll have to wait to see. We'll only know for sure when the President formally announces his appointment hereafter.
Yeah. And just talking about the 2-day interviews, the issue of age did come up, right? So, what happens? He happens to be one of the most senior judge presidents in South Africa in terms of years of service, if not the most senior. How likely is this going to be a problem or a factor?
I don't think it's a major problem.
Yeah.
It is true that Judge President Mlambo has less time that he can serve in that position than the other 2 candidates, but we're talking about the difference of sort of 1 or 2 years. And I think on balance, if you're saying that he is a very strong candidate that will bring a whole range of skills and experience to the role, well, then I think you gain tremendous benefit from having that expertise and experience in the role, even if it is for a shorter time. The best candidate, in theory, can still make a tremendous impact, even if they've not got as long to serve as they might do. And he would get my maths right, but I think he would still be able to serve around 4 to 4.5 years, and that's quite a long time in the scheme of things. I think a lot can be done in that time. So it is a factor all the candidates were asked about. It is something that is taken into consideration, but I don't think it's decisive on its own. Of course, I mean, again, we referred to the example of former Chief Justice Zondo earlier, and he was appointed as Chief Justice when he had only just over 2 years that he was able to serve. But the president at that time felt that he was still the best candidate despite that. So I wouldn't expect that to play an overriding role in the president's consideration of this appointment.
Absolutely. Chris, thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Chris Oxtoby, the legal consultant and research consultant for Freedom Under Law.